Man, I wish I could have like multiple different channels on YouTube, lol. So, just to like better like relate the context of powers of like things that I've been experiencing. So like, way in the past, basically what I call the shadows or the demons, the demon constructs, that's basically what I've been fighting for the longest time. There's the memories, and then there's the constructs themselves, which are made of basically just energized thoughts, solidified repetitions of basically the same thing, same patterns over and over again. That's what makes them. They are less than physical, so like they can't hurt you. Even if they impact you, they just attach to you. They literally become part of your Akashic field, and they I don't want to say they infect your memories, but they basically infect your consciousness. Basically, it's a literal. I almost want to say it's literal. It's almost a literal possession. It feels like it's just basically it overlays negativity over you. Basically, it's hard to break away from that. It's a forced-on negativity. It's another layer on top of your cosmic memories, which kind of settle down all around you. On top of, it's like your perceptual energy field, basically, whatever. So like, there's those that have never impacted me. Even directly contacting them, it never really hurt. It never physically disturbed me, or like it didn't like just physically destroy or diminished those energetic forms that we have. We are multidimensional. I'm basically trying to learn all the language to put this all together. So basically we exist in multiple different parts. Our energy is not, it's not just one body. It's like it's represented in different conglomerate collections. There's actual, like, the overlaid on this world, this reality, this visual perception, time, space. You have an energy form which is separate from you. It literally exists outside of you. And you can move it and send it around. You can do things with it. That's where most of your energy work actually occurs from. It's from that vantage point, wherever that thing is, that being, that entity, that light being. I don't even know what to call it. It's just a thing, basically. And so there are those. There's that, and then what's it called? And so taking that in mind, the shadows, the demon things themselves are pretty freaking, they're like this, they're pretty freaking scary. They're basically these stuff of nightmares, exactly as how back in the 1980s, 1950s, 1940s, whatever, 1990s, whatever, all the Friday the 13th movies, all the big scary films and stuff, all that when all those things were being created, that's basically when all the big energy darkness constructs were being made. All the witch stories, all the witch 1970s, 1960s, all those old tales, all the horror stories, the films, the books, witches, Freddy, Frankenstein, all that zombie stuff, end of the world, Friday the 13th, Freddy, Jason Krueger, all those things, The Grudge, having something like that manifested and run at you like that, and it's just like, energy becomes conscious when it assumes its own. Yeah, energy becomes intelligent when it gathers up to a point. Energy is energy. It's like it's a thing. Only we can create it. And it's like ultraviolet thoughts are basically that way. I always have to like clean my nose on camera because I clean everything so constantly. So like. Those weren't the biggest problem. There were many of them, about like 500, maybe 700. I took on about 300 at first, and then they basically came. Actually, they're activated by energy, just like all those negative dark construct things. And so those were one of the biggest problems. They're most basically dwindling off. The more I talk about them, the more that I basically shoot at them. They're easily dispersed. Those aren't really the problems. Those are like, it's less than a level 1 entity, less than a level 1 being. It's just that in the past, some of them moved frighteningly fast, disturbingly fast. Like, there's no reason any being construct should ever move that fast to begin with. And it's just like, and if you have skills and you're fully tuned in that energetic space, and you're a shaman, you're a wizard, and you're firing at this thing, you're trying to use basically a beam trying to hit this thing. It's just like basically like Sonito. It teleports basically. That's what it looks like. It's just moving so goddamn fast. You can see it moving in real time. It's just, get that out of the way. And that was but like, that was the most, they are the most disturbing thing. Like everything else, I'm not really truly that like freaked out about or like that worried. But yeah, that was like freakiness scale, danger like 0 basically, danger basically 1 or so. They could basically make you kill yourself or whatever just because it's just so negative. The dark thoughts, the basically as soon as they touch you, it overlays that emotion. It's like it's just in your face. Then all that what they are is it feels like it's attached to the back of you sometimes. That's all it is. It's like a lump in your consciousness. It's just like, it feels like you got a dark entity hanging around you, basically. It's not even an entity, it's just a construct. It's basically the best you can call it. Basically what it's called. So relating that to the third regiment of heaven, if this time space is like this and you go up and there's literally darkness all around you, and there's only pockets existing of light where we are, and with the column of memories are basically setting up down upon us. I don't know what creates them, if it's literally just a solidification of matter, just everyone's thoughts. But literally it's just like, I was just sitting there like just meditating, like raising my frequency higher and higher, just like, yay, yay. And all of a sudden like I get this thing that goes, rah! It goes, rah! High pitch, like, rah! It's just like, oh, that's disturbing. I kind of like unconsciously like flicked out of my consciousness or something, or like it backed off, or like it went close, it saw me and then went away, and I was like, what the hell? My consciousness filled, my spatial awareness was like this close. I was only focusing on just around me. Then I started expanding it out. Then I started expanding it out more, and I saw them. I started seeing more of them. And as I expanded it out just all the way further as I could, furthest possibility, I just expanded all the way out there. I was like, oh shit! And then I realized where I was, and I was in the masses of them. I went up through several ranks without them or me really noticing and realizing. And it's just, they're about a third your size, but they're like crimson red, like crayon neon colored red. Like it's just like, they look like blood basically. It's like spooky red. Like it's like you look and it's like it's like a danger color. It's a danger color basically. And it's just like, what the hell? And it was like, and like when they would impact you, so it's basically like a 1-to-1 ratio of like deletion of destruction. It's just like, and what disturbs them, what destroys them is basically solidified light. It's like, it's not just. And by the way, when you cast so much of a spell and when you get depleted and low, you eventually get to a point where like you're trying to cast it, goes nothing comes out. Literally, you just don't have the energetic potential. So you eventually reach those points. It's like a filter, just like a background information. It helps to relate to the context of the story of everything else that comes ahead after this, like way after this. I had ascended up in the ranks, basically drew all their attention to me. And also, when your energy gets depleted and low, your body, your mind basically stops recording. You basically almost forget things, even though. And so I'm going to tune out of it eventually, like after I tell a bit of the story. And I'm just going to go into a series of consciousness, just as the thoughts come to me. I'm going to do the best I can to explain them, because there's no possible other way to even comprehend or even relate this to. Always make sure that your water is slightly salted, otherwise you won't hydrate. Especially if you just ate. You need to hydrate your throat. No. If you're dehydrated and you just ate and you want to sip water, you don't want to add water to your stomach all at once, because that slows down your digestion process. Your body literally has to equilibrize all of that. It has to homogenize everything. And it slows down. If you have to basically keep moving, you have to move that, circulate it. So basically, I was ascended way up there. Oh, so much better. Thank you, God. Way up there, and they're all coming at me as a sea. not like a complete, not from head to toe, like perception-wise, but like, God, like 20 units high and like 500 units across. Basically, as far as almost as far as the eye can see this way, but not up and down. There's really just like a huge, massive wall, like the Monkey King thing, like those huge, the guys with the shields, those blockades, except now triple, quadruple, 16, 18 times the mass of that going backwards, like just hundreds of fucking thousands, to see of them, and it's like they're all moving at once, and there's like little hundreds of the waves, like down. There's like 3 or 4 waves of like hundreds, like maybe like 2 soldiers deep. Not that deep. Like this was like, there's like 18. There's like there's a stack of them. There's like a mass. There's a huge. There's just 100,000 right in front of you. It's just like, and it's just like, what the fuck? And I'm like trying to go down. Like I got my wings out, and I realized like I have wings now. I'm like I gotta get away. And I'm like realizing as I'm flying down, I'm like trying to distance myself, realizing I'm gonna have to crash through the back of this. I'm realizing I'm gonna have to turn around and fire at all these guys. And if I take no action, this is gonna simply exist, and I'm not gonna turn away from this spot without doing anything. So I've traveled all this time back to around about here. I'm still just steadily falling. I turn my wings. I flip around, and I turn my wings up. And I spread them out wide. I'm like, fuck. I spread my wings wide. Basically, the energetic point of your wings is like your energy macabre field. It basically surrounds it comes from the center of your being, your digestive system, your energy, your core. I've always loved the Iron Man reference, if I've never said that before. How basically where he shoots with his hands, he's like, and his chest is always the strongest spot. It's just like when everything else fails, he just charges that up and goes, blah! Your heart is the strongest core. It's the strongest energy center that you have. But the wings, it comes from your entire macabre field. That's where the energy is generated perceptually from. And so I use that, and it's like, it takes like an activation. You have to like dig deep down, and you have to like shake it loose, and it's like these 25-foot wings, basically 25-foot wingspan, 28-foot wingspan. I've got on either side. It's more than enough to lift my body. It's realistic. It's proportionate. It's what an angel would be. I'm like, when I whip around, I'm still falling. These 3-4 foot, like 3 waves. There's two giant ass waves on top. Impossible to even get through. This is where I'm headed. I gotta crash through all of these. And I'm like, and I'm like, and like that huge wave is like falling on me. So it's like, and I'm like, I fire up at it, just, and I whip out like 300,000. I'm just, it's like just one go, and it's like, wow, my energy just drops way low. I'm like, holy crap, it's the first time I've ever done that. I'm like, oh God, fuck yeah. I took out, it was like 30% of the forces, maybe 20%. And I turn my focus back, and like I start like just pick up my speed, and like one motion, because like it's a part of you. It's like I'm turning and twisting, turning everything. I'm like, I'm facing this way now. I'm like, when I crash straight through, I energize myself, a light body, smash through like no problem. And it's the second one. I'm running out of energy now. I'm like, I can only kind of half-ass do it. Like, basically rips off my wings, just about rips off parts of my body. It doesn't mess with my wings. So it takes off solidness from my phone. I'm like, oh shit. Restore energy even lower. It's like, and like, I'm realizing I'm way over my head. I'm like, and like still, oh, fuck. I crash through, and then I do it properly, like the third time. I crash through the very bottom of this, and by this time I'm just like, I'm breathing. I'm just I'm just flying straight downwards to the earth. Just flying downwards in consciousness, downwards in energy, just like trying to get distance. It's like my back's basically facing the ground. I'm just looking up at it. I'm just like, because I'm way up high in the fucking air. It's like, this takes energy, but it's like, it's energy. utilization occurs like all over different parts of your body. I'm like basically recovering different areas. I'm like, and then basically during that time, because I'm moving. I'm breathing. I'm circulating in the real world. I'm like taking a drink. I'm like taking fucking sips of whatever I can to learn how to basically maintain that focus. Do the things at the same time in the real. And with my physical body, this thing which needs to be maintained, your vessel which needs to be maintained always, as well as to keep focus on basically the energy, basically the energy, the energy realm. It exists. It overlays ours, and it's part of us. And if you guys lose your constructs, those energy forms, it affects your consciousness heavily. It makes you really, it fucks you up. It demotivates you. It demotivates you, like it breaks off part of your consciousness, 1/3 of your body. Your senses, basically your consciousness, 1/3 of your consciousness, basically almost 1/4 of your consciousness, it relies upon that. And so I fire at these things again with my mind. I basically just calm my back self down to center. I didn't lose my train of thought just yet. So I'm firing at these things again with my mind. And I take another deep breath and I'm trying to like shift energy within my own body here so that it registers, so that I can send it to that thing, so that thing can activate. And it's like, it's an energy point. It's basically, it comes from the same point when you try to speak in your own mind, hello, say anything, it's perceptively, it all occurs almost right here. Like you see it all in real time. It's occurring all around you. And it's like it's overlaid on this. And it's just like when things hit you, it's like you get hit. And it's like, you don't like that. It hurts. And you got to regenerate that. You got to heal. And it's like, and so I'm shifting this energy back, and I can do it again, basically. And I fire up again, maybe about 1/4, even like half as strong, 1/4 as strong. I take out maybe about 5-10% at most, and it's like, it's way too many. I'm just like, oh man, because like distance basically breaks off their attitude, breaks off the pursuit. Yeah, I have to enter. That's when my body's basically stopped recording. I have to just say it, what I've experienced. I'm just following, like trying to, like I can sense how far they're going to keep chasing me, and it's way too far for me to fly alone, even at that speed, even with that distance. So I go to my safe place. I teleport. That basically, it's basically a spatial time. It's basically the point that I've gotten used to, and so I teleport there. I pull all my energy through like Harry Potter does. It takes a big burst. It's like comes from a different energy store. It's like in the back, but it makes you. It's not something you want to do while you're that low. It makes you kind of sick. It's basically a last resort kind of thing, because if they follow you, find you, and some of them did. Like they were trying to, like they could still track you. So like I would use like the teams of light to basically send bolts to them. If you could see, like it's like basically an armada of just bolts just like flying across, and you could feel them like just the potentials, their energy basically diminishing. They're no longer chasing you. It's no longer going to show up. It's no longer going to show up in your face. It's like it's gone. That you're being chased. That energy is gone. It's diminished. There's nothing. It's peace. And I do that every time until there is peace. Until I've registered peace completely within my consciousness, and I sit there for a few moments. I'm like, there's no danger. There is no danger. That's when I tell you guys about it. That's only when I tell you guys about it. I don't say shit until then. Because until you guys are safe, I'm not saying fucking shit. If verbiage, that energy. Men are natural born protectors. We always want to be. I don't want to say the military basically preys upon this, but they heavily prey upon this in so many words, in so many ways. And you don't need to be in a military sort of role to get that sort of sense of fulfillment. Men, guys, men role souls. You don't need that. You just need community. That's all you need. And so I took on more than I was really meant to both times. costly. The more recent thing that I did was very costly. It hurts so much. When your body depletes itself that low, it basically leaves your cells themselves have a trauma response basically to that. There's a sense of aversion of like not wanting to experience that again. It keeps you far away from that. It keeps you safe, but you have to basically integrate that. That's what that was just now. You know, those the shadows. I don't call them demon constructs anymore. I just call them shadows. That's all they are to me. The third regimented event, I don't know what the fuck that was. That was the first time that ever happened to me. But that was so perceptively real, and it was like, that took such a... Okay, so, at some point along there, the reason why I mention that so often, because that's where I lost Sarah. That's where I lost Sarah's body. As those waves, those third minor waves were coming back in on me, it was basically one after another. Like I turned my face back to the ground. I turned my back towards them. I used my wings to basically form like a shield basically behind me. And I just energized them. As soon as they hit me, it's like energized. Whoosh, and just like they smashed around, just smashed right through, just went right through, went right over me. No problem. But like the second time or something, like I don't know if it was the first or second time. See, like I don't have that time perception awareness. I pulled Sarah. Troy got right. It was safe. She held it up safe to me. Sarah was like less combat aware basically. She stood on the outside basically watching on. Is just where they hit her, and basically blew her away. It destroyed her, wherever that she was. Just and that's it. And it's like me reaching out to her. It's not going to do any good. It's just like you can't bring that form back. And it's just like. And it's just one of those things. And basically returned her back to source, to consciousness, to the other side. She basically had to go through her entire return a solidification process. Coming through the other side, you can feel her. Like it takes days, many days, 3-4 days. And yeah, that's why it always like comforted me, dear. Just randomly, like the whole world, the whole universe is very intuitive. There are events which happen in your lives. You log online, you see a video or short, an uploader saying a quote, and it just suddenly relates to your life. It's like, what the fuck? And it's just like Irie all of a sudden says something like, oh, I'm so sorry about Sarah. Like, it was such a tragedy, like something like, we lost her. I'm like, yeah. I wasn't like feeling downtrodden or like griefed about it or anything, but I was like, I feel oddly, strangely better if someone, the universe acknowledged that on my part. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, and the reason why I rename her that is because, yeah, that's such a form of closure. The reason I name her that is because syllables, you want to, especially for talking with your mind, for telecommunication, for telepathy, you want to keep the words and syllables short. You want to keep your phrases short. Because a lot of like blah, 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 that hurts. You want to say Sarah, not like Sophia. Sophia. It's a lot of syllables. Sophia. You can say it like a Sophia. That helps. Or Sarah. Or Troy. That's why I have all simple names. Aurelia, I name her just AU sometimes. AU. And like Queen, that's why I don't use like Alexandra. Alexandra. That's why I don't use Alexandra. Because it's just so wordy. Alexandra. That's a lot to say in consciousness. That takes a huge, I can say a lot of words, but like my energy is usually so below by that time that I just can't. Conservative always. Don't be wasteful of resources if you can help it. If you can't be. So the reason why that punching that brick hurt so much is because it shifted the bones onto itself. It shifted everything downwards. It didn't crack it, but it didn't break. But it slid to a place where the bones themselves slid into themselves where it wasn't supposed to be, because they're so thin. Holy shit, there's stuff there. There's almost nothing there. This pinky needs to come up. On the other side, on the underside, my bone itself was thin. It's like paper thin, basically. Like almost touch my marrow. If you squeeze hard, it hurts. It would hurt. It didn't hurt then, but just the trauma response. It just okay, yeah. That's why whenever you get people here, it feels good. You feel it. The bone pain is a different kind of pain. It's just getting used to it. Like please don't be mad at me. Like please don't be mad at me. Like a modest child. So the Indian culture thing, the Indian reference, the reason why I say and I talk like I do, please don't hurt me, mommy. Please don't be mad at me, because I kind of like want to be scolded. Like there's every soul has that like childlike aspect of like wanting to be treated as a kid, and so the male role is basically the supreme enjoyer. He is the supreme enjoyer, and also something about like the story of like Radha stirring butter, and like him like tasting the butter, and like his mother getting onto him, and him being like, "Don't be mad at me, mommy," and like being chased around the house or something. It's like him just being a naughty boy eating the cookie, and like him being like, "Oh, please don't be mad at me, mommy." Every guy, every like soul kind of like has that feeling of like, "Please don't be mad at me," of like wanting to tease their family, or like tease the lady, the female counterpart, because like it's so fun. I don't know, something stupid is like something like that. I'll try to link the story, say more in the comments below, but it's nothing that I can't handle, but it makes me want to train some of you all a bit more, especially what I saw down below in like the ethers. I don't know how I got pulled down there, how I split off with myself, or why the thing got sucked down in there. But it was like I got the sense that it wasn't anything too much to worry about. There's nothing to like enemy related to it. No enemy sent me down there. It was just something like it just got pulled in, and it's like I looked into an abyss or something. I tried falling into a crack or crevice. I tried pushing into a series of energy, and I fell through, and I just kept falling. It was just like, it was weird. It was just, yeah, it didn't look at me. It looked around and started to observe. You could sense that it was sensing, observing the situation, taking full stock of what it needed to, basically through the minds and consciousness of all those people, unifying into its own individual entity, energy. It's a low form energy consciousness. It wasn't like super intelligent, but it was like sunstone kind of aware. It was just like kind of like, yo, it's like, yo, what up? They couldn't like tell you the birthdays and shit, but like, it's like, yo, yeah, you want to hit that hill? Yell at. It was like light was like, of like it was just, it wasn't like forced, but it was like that sound. It was like, shit was like, I was like, whoa, that was so cool. That was so cool. 100 people, because like it was a big event. The guy was like had a heart surgery going on. I was like, whoa, that was fucking awesome. Anyways, cry on Lee Carroll, basically mentioned in the last 40-minute video. There's a reason why you big kapha body girls are so sought after. Not big, but like your energy system is big. Your energy system is calm because you're so spaced out. You're so slow in a good way. It's so restorative to be around you. I need that so often, more than I can say. I could seriously sleep with you, around you. I could seriously sleep around you. All of you, actually, but you especially. Okay, I guess I'm gonna rest now. Yeah, basically my body is depleted. Yeah. If I ever mention wings, it's basically using them